Hey everybody, welcome to an all-new episode of Holotheatre. As always, I am Dan Tartag-Leone, also known as DTartag1, coming to you live tonight from wonderful Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We got an exciting show for everybody tonight. First time tonight, we're going to be talking to English legend and perennial top 8 player from the European from Europe, Justin Branch, Silver Glen on Gemp, and I think he's on Silver Glen on the forums as well. That's going to be a fun little interview, so definitely looking forward to seeing some reactions on that one. Sorry, and on top of that, got some exciting announcements. From on high, the Jawa Council convened, and we're going to talk about an updated band list that's set to go into effect very, very soon. But first, let's go ahead and talk about what's going on in Star Wars CCG right now. So everybody knows that the September OCS starts here. I want to say it's already started. So it might have already started. However, I don't see anybody playing any games just yet. Timo Dussel hasn't actually gone on and finished all 12 of his games just yet. So you got some time there, everybody, to finish up your games. You have actually 30 days until the last month for the OCS is completed. So get out there, play your games. Maybe we'll see some exciting finishes. I know right now the meta is essentially, it looks wide open to me, so I'm definitely interested to see what people are going to be playing, especially our European players, as they get ready for the European Championships. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and see what events are coming up around the corner. That is not the updated list. Let me go ahead and update that really, really quick here. There we go. There's our updated list. Again, I just mentioned this about a minute or two ago. Next week, we have our European Championships out of Bochum, Germany. I know there's a lot of top-tier players going to be at the event. Fantasy Euros is already live, so if you guys want to go participate in that, please do. It is on the forums. Matt Wadden and his team got together, convened, and determined all the top players, what their points are valued at, and we'll see who comes out on top. Also, if you're an American, make sure you support Tommy. He's going to be out there at a large porg. I believe he's the only American who is going to be going to the event. So cheers, as they say, and good luck to you, sir. September 9th, if you're in the States, feel free to come out to Pittsburgh. We have a Pittsburgh local. Sean Dixon is going to be hosting that one. September 10th, out over in Dagobah in Georgia, Marietta, there's going to be a Dagobah local. September 16th, we have a Now Huddle League event in Carmel, Indiana. October 7th through the 8th is the Now Huddle Super Weekend, also in Carmel. Brian Fred's going to host that. He puts on a nice little event out there. Towards the end of October, we have the Endor Grand Prix, our last major of 2023. Werfs and the rest of the Seattle local guys are going to put on a great event. They always do. Please, if you can, go out there, support them. It's going to be fun. I know, I believe on Friday there is a sealed deck tournament. There's going to be an OTSD as well as a Jabba's Palace sealed event. Haven't had one of those in a long time, so that's going to be a lot of fun. We also have the team tournament, and Saturday is the main event. So get out there, play some Star Wars. And I do believe I hear some rumors on the rumor mill that we might have set 22 out there in time for it. And then on November 4th and 5th is the Corellia Super Weekend. Kendall is hosting a wonderful little event both Saturday and Sunday out in Columbus, Ohio, coinciding with his birthday. So I know that's going to be the Corellia Regionals as well as Ohio States. If you're going to Endor, go out there and play in that. I hear Kendall and his no reverts or team It Could Be Worse and the rest of the basement crew are going to be putting on a wonderful little event. So get out there, go play. I'm excited. I haven't played any real events this year, so I'm extremely looking forward to Endor, and I'm extremely looking forward to seeing what goes on with the European Championships. So again, stay tuned to all the social media, Facebook, Instagram, Slack, Twitter, forums, Discord, GEMP, for all announcements regarding streaming times for both the European Championships as well as the Indoor Grand Prix. We'll make sure everybody is well aware ahead of time of what the streaming schedule is going to be like for both of those events. But yeah, that's right now what we got going on in Star Wars CCG as we wrap up the August and transfer into September. And I just alluded to this about a second ago, right before we got into our announcement, but Kendall Hallman, his team, the rest of the members of the Jawa Council have convened recently. They went into shelter. They emerged from their darkness retreat, just like a certain quarterback, and they determined what the new Jawa ban list will be. So, for those who are interested in this, first of all, let's go ahead and get into the dark side. To start off, dark side, your new ban list includes Bring Him Before Me, ISB operations, You May Start Your Landing, Hunt Down and Destroy the Jedi, the Tatooine Desert Landing Site, and Sliding Away. So we got 6 cards banned for Dark Side. Definitely some interesting calls there. I think the biggest one, obviously, the Tatooine Desert Landing Site was a very, very popular deck at Worlds. Hayes used it to win. Walkers saw a lot of play. Sliding Away was in a lot of decks. I was a little surprised to see ISB just because it did, even though it was there, not a lot of people played it. I mean, I know Ryan Jelson played it, Brian Fred played it. Bring It Before Me, I can see it. Like, both Bring It Before Me and Hunt Down are both banned. So if you really wanted to play Dark Side mains, Revenge of the Sith is definitely an option still. You can't play the Revenge of the Sith Maul, however, with the Desert Landing Site being banned. However, you can still play Revenge of the Sith Dooku or Revenge of the Sith Vader. So definitely some still options. Justin and I actually talk a little bit about these later on in the show during our interview. So make sure you guys stick around for those. And let's go ahead and look at our light side ban list. Now, this one might surprise some people because for light side, essentially there's only 3 cards that are banned. The first one being Your Thoughts Dwell on Your Mother. Second one is Communing. And last is 0 Hours. So you notice with Communing being banned, that's all 3 variants of Communing. That's Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Qui-Gon all being banned for this iteration of the Jawa circuit, I would say. The Jawa Cup. I'm not sure what they want to say, like the Jawa format. And then I do have an announcement, official announcement from our head Jawa, as well, the entire Jawa Council, I would say. The Jawa Council convened this week. Now that Timo is on the team, our chambers are somewhat in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean for convenience. The new ban list is pretty straightforward. Obi-Wan, Yoda, 0 Hour, and Anakin Saga were the most popular decks at Worlds, and we decided that we were tired of Communing as a whole, so we were okay with hitting Qui-Gon Communing as well, just to be thorough. For Dark Side, we had to ban additional cards in order to actually hit Tom's SSA Landing Site deck. Bring It Before Me, ISB, Walkers, and Hunt Down. We didn't want to ban SSA and then people still have to worry about Walkers with Combat Readiness V or bring him before me without the second sight. Huntdown was banned because it was very good in general, even though it wasn't the most popular at Worlds, and because it's particularly strong against the types of fun Fred decks that we like to see in the Jawa format. Good luck to anyone in the regional leagues who will be playing Jawa format this month. To everyone else, expect an additional update after set 22, and/or Euros, and whatever happens in the next month or two. Sincerely, the Jawa Council. So if you have any questions or anything regarding the ban list, please feel free to talk to your local Jawa representative. They will then get in touch with the Jawa Council. They will meet in their seclusion fortress of solitude in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and talk about what exactly they can do to make Jawa better. So again, that is, to reiterate, bring it before me ISB operations. You may start your landing, hunt down, destroy the Jedi, Tatooine Desert Landing Site, and slip sliding away. Virtual are banned for dark side. For light side, your thoughts dwell on your mother, communing, and 0 hour. There's your Jawa list. Get out there, play some cards, and Utini all the time. At this point, let's go ahead and get into our interview with Mr. Justin Branch. Definitely going to be a little fun of an interview. I believe it lasted for about roughly 40 minutes or so. So please enjoy, sit back, relax, get some blue milk, and enjoy the interview. I'll be back right after the end of the show, or right after the end of the interview. So please stick around. And we'll be back in a bit. And here we are, everybody. I got the man from Britain himself, Justin Silverglen Branch. I promised you a European play-in. Justin was more than willing to come on and talk about everything that's going on in Star Wars CCG, being that Euros is roughly a week out at this point. Because I know I know that you guys start early with all the activities. Like you don't do the normal stuff with what the Americans do. What's the first thing so Thursday? Like, talk to us about like Thursday night and Friday. Like, talk to us about like some of the festivities that you guys do for any European event.
Yeah, so like you guys, you normally like do loads of board games and stuff. I think, don't you? Quite a lot of you.
Oh, yeah.
Tour the city and like go to shows and stuff like that. We get together and we drink.
That's it.
There is socializing, drinking. There's a Sharpie competition this year that I think Tamas is running.
A what? Yeah.
So, highlighting pens on cards competition. So, yeah. So that's happening. Emil is the judge, apparently. That's happening.
No. So
we've got that going on. But Thursday is basically just a piss up. Get together.
Okay.
Drinking session. Friday, most people start arriving Friday. The hardcore Thursday night. Then Friday, throughout the day, everyone just gets together and then effectively team tournament. Mm-hmm. If you're not playing in that, you'll just be getting together. There might be the odd side game going on, but probably not much. Everyone's, quite into it.
So let's first of all talk about this Sharpie game. You said it was Thomas's idea. Can you give us any details on it? Like, what is this thing?
Yeah, so it is on the forum. So if anyone's interested in checking it out, have a look on that. He's posted the link on it as to what's going to be happening. But essentially, it's something that he did with Emil, with Kevin and John before the Naboo Regional this year. They got together the nights before, had a few drinks, got loads of highlighter pens and that sort of stuff. Got loads of cards, drew all over them, and so he's going to run a more formal competition, informal, fun, but just a bit of extra. Something else to do on site whilst we're all sort of getting together.
So it's kind of like an event that is made for Brian Fred, but Brian Fred is not going to be there.
Brian, last year, was it last year? Yeah, he was at Euros last year with Mike. So He definitely got a full share of everyone drawing on every card. He loved it. He would be missing out big time here.
So you're gonna draw on it, and like, have you done any practicing for this event?
Not extensively, but I do have an art degree, so I should be okay.
So if you have an art degree, why aren't you using it with like? Why isn't the PC contact you and been like, make some stuff for us?
I'm not that good on computers. That's
okay,
why.
That's fair.
It's more fine art, I should say.
Well, I mean, I would rather have like. I'm actually jealous now that you guys are doing that this year. Like, I love that idea. I love signed cards from players. I don't care outside of like LSJKs, Emperors. Sign my cards.
No. Yeah, exactly. I agree with you completely.
Like, that's an amazing event.
Yeah, so we're going to have that going on. That's going to be good fun.
Now, is it going to be broadcast? Like, is there going to be? I hope there's going to be pictures.
I'm sure there'll be loads of forum threads going on. Definitely.
So, again, the European Championships, any European event, it seems like they're a little bit more laxed, a little bit more fun than, say, your normal American event. Is that true?
So I've never yet made it to the States for an event, but the people that have come over the other way have said that it's definitely feels like a more informal atmosphere. I mean, the competition is still intense. Everyone is still there for a reason. As much as we're there to see our friends, we are there to play and to win. But yeah, definitely there is more relaxation about it. There is a bit more informality, food and drink at the table. That does happen.
So, again, how many times have you been to a European? Like, is this your second, third, fourth time going to Euros?
So it's definitely my first, at least fourth, maybe fifth. I think fourth now. I think because there was a Euro Worlds as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's my fourth one. Yeah. I mean, mind you, I only came back to the game like 5-6 years ago.
So, how are you preparing for the event? I know, like, are you leaving Thursday or are you leaving Friday? Like, what day are you leaving? What's the agenda for you?
Yeah, unfortunately, so my kids don't go back to school till the week after this, so I can't go early. But I'm going Friday morning, first thing, early flight. So yeah, that's right.
I watch TV.
Yes. That's one of them.
That's one of them.
That's one of them. Yeah, so we're I'm leaving out early flight, so I'll be in Germany by 9 in the morning. Friday morning. As for preparation,
yeah.
Well, it's very unusual because obviously Worlds has come before Euros this year.
Yes.
And so there's been a lot of talk about what impact that will have on the event. What impact will things like the large interviews you carried out with Hayes and Casey, what impact will their metering, their thought processes, their deck choices, how will that impact Euros? I think also the growing importance of GAMP as a site for us all to participate in is flattening some of the curve between the two continents in that respect as well.
I could see it.
So I think there is much more transference of decks.
So what decks do you like going into the event? Like, I know for over here, it was a lot of mains, a lot of like the Tom Desert Landing Site, Slip Sliding Away, Maul's deck, a lot of Obi-Wan communing. But I know you guys like to run things a little differently. So what do you think?
I think that is beginning to change, being honest with you. I think 5 years ago, there was a huge difference. That the love of mains was not there in the same way that it is now, because we do run so, we still have lots of regionals, but a lot of us don't travel, and we don't have the majors that you guys have run 4 big majors a year. We run 1, which we all come to. So there is not that, So what we get in the end is basically, I think, everyone wants to play the best decks and the top decks, and they have become slowly the less inventive decks. So we're not less inventive, but we have become less inventive as a result, I think. And I think having Worlds after Euros this year may be, again, a bit of a signal of that. The Tom deck is extremely inventive, hugely creative,
yeah, it is
not easy to play. Yeah, but
like,
I think that fits a lot of Euro models though, because I think they like that sort of deck, whereas a lot of people, Hunt Down isn't really a Euro thing, so
yeah.
I think we'll see less of that, but
So,
more Tom style.
So more Tom, less Chris Kelly.
That's the way.
That's interesting. So now, what were your thoughts on? Like, I know you watched a little bit of Worlds. You followed along. What was your mindset? Like, what were your takes on the game itself? While Hayes and Casey and all the rest of the top 8 were playing and doing well, did anything stick out to you?
So, I think the fact that Ryan did so well with ISB was unexpected. Just like I think it caught a lot of people off guard. I'm on playtesting, and I know Ryan loves his ISB, so I have played against it a few times. But I think his success was surprising, and I think it was a bit of a wake-up call for some. I think Casey, he is always, whenever I've played him in the OCS, it's just mains, straight mains, and basically always mains.
Which is funny. Like,
I'm not.
Which is funny because like he's come on and said that he doesn't. Like, he's made Worlds before using Senate, using EBO, and like this is the first time he's played Hunt Down and this Luke Skywalker, the Funeral Pyre start deck, and an event and made a top 8. So, but I mean Casey does come off as like a mains type of a player. I do agree.
I think when he made Worlds top 8 last year, I think he was given the decks. He didn't bring them himself. I think if he had brought them, he probably would have brought straight mains. Like I always knew him as a throne room mains player, almost exclusively.
Yeah, I mean that's that northeast of the United States feel like a lot of people like to play the throne room, the Hunt Down.
Yeah,
like you would go to an event and like half the field would be throne room. Now, only Kendall plays throne room, and it's just
yeah. I'm not expecting to see much throne room Euros.
Now, what decks are you expecting to see?
Well, I think I would expect it to mirror Worlds quite similarly. I'd expect there to be a lot of communing. I would expect there to be, a lot of the SSA deck of some version. I've seen it in the Euro regionals that have been played.
Yeah.
It just really wouldn't surprise me to see all of that come out. Agents of the Black Sun, that's always been a popular deck. ML's played that. He played that at the Euro regional I was at. So those are the sort of decks I'd expect to see play a lot. I think also the Euros do like some of the slightly quirkier stuff, so a bit more backmouse in style. So you will see, like, I reckon, some Y4O, some EBO, maybe, that sort of stuff.
So you think
maybe WAP,
Do you really think somebody's going to play Batmouse's Y40 with Jedi business?
No, I think there'll be the Euro version, which would just be a just a system-based one rather than a ground. Rather than
well, I mean, he runs 3 systems in his deck.
Yeah, but he also runs Jedi.
Yeah, I know. For some reason, it works for him. I don't understand it. I will never understand how. I have tried playing his decks; they never work for me. But for him, they work, and it does not make sense to me.
But that's a little bit like Tom's decks. They don't work for me at all. I mean, I can deck the deck list. I can play it. I can even ask him how to play it, and it doesn't work for me.
Yeah,
it's just not my play style. It's as simple as that, and I think that's a key thing to remember.
So you brought up your play style. What is Justin Branch's play style?
I would describe it as normally a control style. So my favorite platform since I started playing, when I first started playing, really with Old Allies and Map where it
Okay.
was semi-aggressive, but at the same time it was controlling, a dual theatre. I then verged off Old Allies briefly, and I went into Throne Remains for a period because it seemed like it was doing okay.
Yeah.
But it's very, hammering out. It's just literally, it was fine, very linear. But I mean, I know why people love it because you play great cards and all the best cards and all that sort of stuff. But then I did go back to Old Allies. I've played various other decks in the OCS, like playoffs and all the way through, done different things. In the OCS recently, I've played. I'm trying to think what I played last month. Last month I played a mix. I played Agents. I played Walkers. I played the Tom deck. Light side. I played some Hitco. I played Obi Muning quite a lot. Just a whole scattering of stuff. But Old Allies being hit has hurt me because it's really a deck I played non-stop for 3 years. So I have had to sort of slightly go back to the drawing board.
So you mentioned Old Allies. Like, even though Old Allies did take a hit with a Brave Resistance being blanked, were you surprised to see no one played it at Worlds?
No, because in my testing, that was such a pivotal card to it working properly. It didn't work. And I haven't then I played it, I must have played 10, 12 games with it online, just trying to see what different variations I could put together, and it just didn't flow. It was too slow, and it got outpaced far too quickly, because Darksiders got faster, especially with Tom's influence.
I like how we keep we keep going back to the big boogeyman for Darkside is this Tom deck. Like, and you said you played it, you've talked to him about it. What do you think can be done against this deck?
To just, what you mean, beating it in open play? Well, I mean, I think Hayes alluded to it, and Thomas said the same, is that its weakness is its space.
True.
But the problem is it does have the retrieval to get the space back.
Yes.
But without space, it is not going to win. But the problem is its activation platform is so fast that trying to knock it out of space whilst not losing too much damage on the ground at the same time feels like you're playing with one hand behind your back. So it is really something that is meta altering, and I think it is something that I have to, whatever I play, and I've not made any decisions. I've got 5, 6 decks that people keep saying, play this, play that, try this, and it's like, can it beat SSA? That's what I need to know.
So, now you said that you're playing like 5 or 6 decks. You have people telling you to play this, play that. Yeah. Going into going into Euros and everything, like, are you working with a set team?
Yeah, so I've been part of the KTOD Plus, which a couple of years ago was Matt Harrison, Train, and myself joined with the original KTOD, but Mr. Chu and Mr. Gem obviously are more part-time these days. And Steve
I mean, Johnny just played Worlds and made a top 8. And
he did, but that's true. What I meant by that, he's more part-time from a team perspective. He's more father figure.
Yeah, and I will say again, just that was like a joy to me watching him and his kids. That Worlds weekend was just amazing. So, but and I mentioned that he won the top 8. He also won a team event, so it's not like he's gone.
Oh, I know. No, he won with Justin. So yeah. Obviously Justin is the engine of the team. Yeah, definitely. He is the beating heart of it.
Even though he's retired.
But yeah, to a certain degree. So Matt and I a couple of years ago did that, and then it culminated last year with obviously the 2 of them meeting in the final. A lot of effort went into that. Matt wasn't playing this year. Justin wasn't going to play. Suddenly decided he was going to play, and sort of, did whatever he did.
Yeah.
But there was no effort. There was no real focused effort from a team perspective because we didn't think anyone was going to go. To be quite frank.
That's fair.
From a Euros perspective, I'm getting some input from them then. But yeah, so but as of I think almost yesterday, Tom the bogeyman has joined us as a plus. So he's now impacting the meta from out, hopefully with us behind him.
So not only is he warping the meta over on Gemp at Worlds, now he's going to impact it for Europe because you're working directly with him. That's kind of scary.
I've got that.
Like, I wish I would have done this interview maybe like an hour or two ago, because I just went on to the forums and posted my fantasy team.
Yes, we've got to talk about this, haven't we?
Yeah, but you know what? Yeah, let's talk about it, because I just opened up the can of worms. Yes, I decided on my fantasy team. I went with the skilled players of Eric Spixma, who's, I think, underrated.
Eric, great player.
Great player. I think he's underrated. Kuhn, again, great player, little underrated.
Both new allies.
Both new allies. And then I went with Kieran.
Pardon?
I went with Kieran.
No, I don't think I heard that clearly. I think the line's a bit...
You're enjoying this. I went with Kieran.
No. I would have gone with Kieran. Kieran is a wonderful player.
Well,
he is
I mean,
brilliant.
I saw that you and him were both the same points, and I wanted to have you both on the team.
But you also wanted the other, and it didn't work.
It didn't work, so I flipped a coin, and it was heads for it was heads for Justin, tails for Kieran.
It was tails, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
fair enough.
So fate decided it, or as I like to think about it, the force decided that I should pick Kieran.
Yes. Perfect.
So
well, if I needed any more, impetus to try and succeed, you've given it to me. I just need to, what can I say?
I mean, you know what? I mean, I love it. Like I've given you the motivation to do well. I've given Timo motivation to do well before. It's like,
yeah, and you gave him so much motivation. He's on holiday. He's not playing.
Yeah, he decided. You know what? I can't go to World. I can't go to Euros. No. I'm going to be on holiday with my family, which is, I understand it, but
yeah, but he'll be on holiday. I mean,
Yeah, he played. Yeah, I mean, so. I lost my train of thought because now we're talking about like putting me on the spot. Oh man.
So I'm not on your team, but that's fine.
And now,
cool.
I like I said, going in, I was going to pick you. You were the first person who was like, "Man, I got to pick somebody."
What changed? But what changed? A lack of faith. I find your lack of faith disturbing.
I haven't. I have to prove to Batmouse that Kieran is worth more than the 40, like whatever ranking he was in for the Game PC.
Man. Yeah, well, I think that was just
I
need to try and prove to Batmouse that my ranking was wrong and I can get past the second round because I lost to Kyle.
I mean that's also Kyle, so I can understand that. So
yeah, so I think the major thing that's going to be different though, from we were talking about Euros and Worlds and decks and everything, is just simply because Worlds came first. I think that's the bottom line, is that I have no idea what to expect apart from I can only imagine that what has happened and the fact that some Euros are now on American-based teams, that there's going to be a lot more pollination, but I'd expect a very similar meta to what you've just experienced.
So how does that make you feel about like the fact that there's a lot of European players who are on American-based teams? Like you said, Eric and I believe Kuhn is kind of on the new allies. You're on KTOD Plus.
Yeah.
I think Emil has worked with KTOD at some point before.
Yes, probably.
And so how does that make you feel as a European going into the event?
I think there is a big difference in so much as I would love as a European to be part of a European team. When I first joined the game, I was like, who in England plays?
Mm-hmm.
And there doesn't seem to have been the same directional focus into creating that team base. I think we have much fewer players, is the bottom line. We all come together for the one event, but we are many nations coming to that one event. So simply put, there's just not enough people playing at the level that want to get involved, that being essentially in a really productive team involves. So there's Team Wales, and they do their own thing, and then there's the Dutch, their thing. But most of us otherwise would have been sort of lone wolves. Bastian is on his own. You know, he doesn't. You know, he makes his own meta through game.
Bastian is a special case.
Oh, very special. But yeah, absolutely. And Emil, as you say, might have worked with other people, but basically he does it all himself. You know, extremely creative but individual players. So I, coming later to the game, having missed many years, didn't have a lot of formative information to pull on. So for me, it was vital to try and share with and be shared with. So that's really helped me. And I think it's also kept the game alive more, because otherwise I felt that Europe and America would otherwise they diverge. This year, no Europeans travelled to, I think, any American events, potentially. The year before, I think maybe Eric and Kuhn made the journey.
Yeah,
the year before, maybe only Chris Menzel made it the year before that. So if we're only talking three, or maybe Emil did, I don't know, but three Europeans or 4 Europeans in 3 years is not a huge transference.
No, it really isn't. And it's so going forward, what would you like to see to bring your Americans to Europe and Europeans to America?
Yeah, but I'd like.
Sorry, Dan.
But I'd like what are they called? Blackberries.
Go grab some blackberries.
But with cream and Nutella.
All right.
But you have to make.
I'll be there in a moment then.
Yeah, but how long's a moment?
Sorry for the interruption.
You're good.
Yeah, but I'm hungry.
I'll be with you shortly.
Yes, but I'm hungry.
We can pause this bit. Editing sweet.
No, we're going to leave this in.
Okay, thank you.
We'll see what we can do. But again, what would you like to?
I think I would love for there to be more high-ranking, important European events done on a. But it's just hard to make it work because we are a scattered player base and a small player base. But if we had more, maybe 2 majors a year, it's maybe doable. I think also from an age perspective. Sorry.
Blackberries.
That will be 2 seconds.
Blackberries. Yeah.
So, still with Justin Branch, everybody is again. This is a really good interview. Make sure you guys, again, just to plug it really quick, make sure you guys tune in next Wednesday for the European Championships. We'll be streaming those pretty much all day. Thomas is going to have, we have a plan set in motion to get those streamed and allow for full participation in the event. Again, once we have the schedule finalized, we'll let everybody know. Make sure you guys stay tuned to the forums, obviously Twitter, Slack, if you are on Slack, Discord as well, and all the other social media platforms that the PC is on. But again, this is an interview with Mr. Justin Branch, Silverglen on GEMP, and member of the.
My chef duties.
And I was going to say, and Justin Branch, member of the 2021 European Championship Outrider Cup team.
I apologize to everyone about that. Sorry.
What, for winning the Outrider Cup? I wouldn't be.
No. Interruption.
Oh, it's good. So we were talking about what do you want to see from
That's part of the
Europeans?
reason we are an older play group, I think, than the Americans. We don't have necessarily the youth coming through in the same way. So, and a lot of us are at this stage in life where there are little people running around, and it is harder to make these journeys sometimes. But I would love to see more events. I truly would in Europe, a high level. I'm even happy for them to be online rather than in person exclusive play. I know there's less of an appetite for that in Europe, but I think it's important for us as a European community to do more altogether.
I fully agree with you 100% on that. And I would love to have you guys come over to America. Hanging out with Kuhn, hanging out with Eric was really fun. I love seeing Menzel coming over is always a blast. And
Chris is one.
I would love to have some other people come over. Like, I for one am extremely looking forward to Worlds next year. I want to be there. I want to play. I'm hoping.
It would be wonderful. Yeah, it'd be great.
Danny. So hoping to be there.
Yeah, it'd be wonderful. I mean, so it was. I can't even remember. I think 2019 was it? I can't remember when it was. When Euro Worlds was last. But we had must be 30. Was it about 30 Americans came over, and the tournament was magical. It really made it an extremely special event, and I think, Hayes was even talking about it. I think in his interview with you about winning Worlds this year, about what an event it is, and we'd love all of you guys to come out and enjoy it. I'm only sorry that it seems that we don't reciprocate in quite the same way.
Well, we'll see what we can do. Maybe once the Twitch money gets in, we get some more Twitch money, we can get some travel vouchers back up and running.
That sounds good.
So earlier in the show, we announced the newest Jawa ban list that came down from the Jawa Council. Again, for those who weren't, if you weren't paying attention, the ban list is live soon. It will be in effect, according to Kendall. Stand by, I'll find out when it is in effect again. But just a rundown again on what the ban list for Dark Side, Bring It Before Me, ISB operations. You may start your landing. Hunt down, destroy the Jedi, the Tatooine desert landing site, and slip sliding away. For light side,
quite a.
That's a big dark side list, especially when you look at the light side, because light side you have Your Thoughts Dwell on Your Mother, 0 Hour, and what I find interesting, all 3 communing decks: Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Qui-Gon.
And I haven't seen Qui-Gon played much recently at all, so that's maybe the only surprise there. But wow, that's quite a list. But I think it needs to. The whole idea of Jawa to me is, let's be creative. Let's bring those tier 3 decks back up. People are bored of playing all this other stuff.
Well, what's a tier 3 deck that you don't normally see?
Y4O.
I mean, whoa. You can't say Y4O because Batmouse just went, I think he went, he just went, 4-1 with it at Worlds?
But he might have been the only person playing it.
True. WAP, I know Jared Napolitano, he played at WAP. He did fairly well with it.
He did.
I mean, I know Ryan Jellison played it.
Yeah, but he didn't do so well. But
yeah.
But if we strip out all of the communing decks from the World 60 light sides, and the reality is that Kendall's slicing the top off it all, which is it's needed, needed, because if you go on Gem, and obviously now Worlds has finished, a lot of the American players maybe aren't as active as they were because there's not a lot to get engaged with. There's 1 more month of OCS left, which we can talk about. That's just starts 2 days time, or even tomorrow. Starts tomorrow. So
yeah, I mean,
I think the Jawa thing is really good for a lot of people who just want to play casually, want to play fun, and would like to not continue to play against those very, very tier 1 decks.
So now going into Jawa, what are some of the decks that you expect to see?
Yeah, I mean, dark side, it sounds quite obvious that Agents of the Black Sun will appear quite strongly because that's not been touched at all, despite the fact that light side may pivot to other loop decks, maybe Pitco, for example, or Watch Your Step, or some of these other ones. I think Agent seems like it would be pretty strong. Then you've maybe got some slightly different ones. You can slightly be more creative. There's Sixfer, there's Invasion, some other maybe those sort of decks spring to mind.
Now,
and for light side, QMC. Of course, Rots. That would be big, won't it? Probably.
You could play your favorite deck.
I could, yes.
You could play Old Allies. This would be the chance for Old Allies to shine again.
Oh, I'm up for that. I promise I will play it.
I want to see you play it. Like, I would love to see somebody. I would love to see Old Allies be.
If there's
good.
a Jawa event, I will play it in a Jawa event. Absolutely.
Well, I'll make sure that Kendall gets right on the Jawa. We'll make him and Batmouse come out. Make sure that they get a Jawa event live, so that way anybody who is interested in playing Jawa can get out there and win some stuff.
That's brilliant.
So, what are your predictions for Euros? Like, you heard my fantasy team. Give me yours.
So we've basically got almost every European elite player playing, bar 2. So Crypto, Zimowit's not playing.
Okay.
And Dylan Timo is not coming.
Because he's on vacation.
But basically everyone else is going to be there. And if you just look at the Fantasy League, even though there might be at Euros 30 to 45 players, so less than Worlds, as you'd expect, I think the caliber is very strong. I think any of the top 15 to 20 have all made top 8s in various events over the last few years. But despite my hopes, and my expectations, when you've got Bastian and Emil, 5 world championships between them,
and how many other stuff have they won?
900 European champions.
Yeah.
You've got to think that they are the target men.
Now, is there anybody that you see in the field that has the possibilities to surprise and win the event outside of, say, the Emils and the Bastions?
Yeah, I mean, I think, to be honest, I think the caliber is so good that many of them could. I think Kirin, he made finals of Worlds a few years ago. He's got every capability of taking down the whole tournament, definitely. Then you look to Angelo, an old world champion. He won a recent regional. He's obviously coming back in form. He's an excellent player. So, I mean, the answer is I don't want to put anyone else down because I think they are all, really very talented. And I just hope they're all ill on the morning.
I was going to say, what's your prediction for yourself?
Let's just get through the first day and hopefully top 8 and take it from there.
Okay. So you're hoping for a top 8.
One would never. Yeah, I mean, I'm never someone to predict. I'm a bit more humble, so I would just like to do my best. And if everything goes to plan, and I can find a deck or 2, then maybe let's aim for top 8 and take it from there.
Okay. And just to confirm from Kendall, sometime this weekend the Jawa ban list will come live. So if you want to get some practice in with your Old Allies, there's your perfect timing.
Yeah, I've still got time to build it. I've got it built still. I haven't taken it apart. It's ready to go.
Do you have a Brave Resistance in it still?
Might have to take that out.
Yeah.
It's a foil. It's one of those nice PC foil ones.
Was there a PC foil one of that?
I think that's what I've got, unless it's a Kevin Yap.
I mean, at this point, isn't a Kevin Yap foil a PC foil?
I've always thought that.
So, I will say I will wish you really good luck. It has been a pleasure to talk to you. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. You're definitely you're definitely a joy to have on, and we'll have to have you on again. Hopefully, as we talk about you winning Euros. Have you won? What was the highest that you finished in a European Championship?
So every Euros I've played in, I've made the top 8.
Okay.
But I haven't. But I haven't made it to the finals yet. So that would be, that'd be cool.
So there you have it, people. If you're picking a fantasy team, pick Kevin. Pick Kevin. Yeah.
Pick Kevin.
Pick Kevin. No, pick Justin Branch. He'll get you there. He'll get you a top 8 for your fantasy team.
There you go.
Unless you're me and you don't pick him.
Well, there's always that. So it's going to be a wonderful weekend. Really hyped for it. Really looking forward to it. And I hope that everyone enjoys the coverage, however it comes through. I think that's still to be discussed. Exactly the final mechanism.
Tomas and I are working on it, so we're going to figure that out. It is, from what I understand, it is going to be on delay. So we're going to work on that to figure out how we can get that over. We can have live feed for everybody in America to watch it and everything. So, but yeah, I'm excited. Like I won't be able. Will try to watch and try to pay attention because I'm going to be actually at a Pittsburgh local. So
wow, amazing.
Yeah, so I'll be trying to play Star Wars, but
you should have it. You should have it on a big screen whilst you're playing.
But I have to focus because Kendall's going to be there, and he's my rival.
Oh, right, got you.
Can't lose to Kendall.
Just play Master Luke. He loves that.
Leia, Rebel Princess, and Master Luke.
Either of those.
Why not both?
Sounds like an Obi Muning deck.
It does. It really does. But again, Justin, thank you for coming on. It is a pleasure. And I cannot wait to see how you do at Europeans next weekend.
Thank you. Looking forward to it all. Thanks for having me tonight.
You're very welcome. Take care.
Bye for now.
Okay, everybody. Thank you for staying with me throughout the interview and everything. Again, big thank you to Justin for joining me on that interview. Again, I do wish him all the best when it comes to Euros next week. That's all I have for this week. So join us next week as I welcome on Scotland Grell. We're going to talk about his amazing run at Worlds last month, as well as him winning the Most Innovative Deck Builder Award from the weekend. So again, thanks to everybody for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoy yourselves. As always, have a good weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Be safe. And as always, may the Force be with you. Good night, everybody.